To the Redmen TV on an evening that saw Liverpool lose by 1-0 against Burnley at Anfield. An Ashley Barnes penalty separating the two teams, which sees Liverpool's unbeaten home record come grinding to a painful end. And not because, Liverpool going out in heroic circumstances, which I think we all kind of envisaged that would be how it would end. No, they've just capitulated with a whimper, which has been the whimper that Liverpool have dealt out to opponents in the last 5 games of football they've played now. Yeah, terrible. Absolutely terrible. We'll get stuck into it. You can interact with us live in the comments. Right now, I want to say welcome aboard to Edward Andre Red Wolf has joined as a first team member, and Ehtisham Ul Hassan as well. Just put Mate at the start of your comments and then leave your reaction. I'll read through some of them and then I'll nip over to Twitter, do a few of them and then back to the chat on YouTube. Hitchin Baz kicks it off, and I couldn't really put it much better. Just, well, that was a pile of wank. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. Pov saying, meh, just meh. Know there's still half a season to play, but should we switch focus to a cup run and securing top 4? Hate myself for even saying it, but on current form, not the worst thing. Well, look, securing top 4 is trying to win the title. Look, Liverpool don't deserve to be in bigger conversations. They don't deserve to be in any conversation about anything for the season. Liverpool just need to win some football matches. They need to score goals and win football matches. And if they do that enough, then they earn the right to be considered in conversation for anything. No team should be automatically handed anything. This team do not deserve something by right because they are the reigning Premier League champions. Absolutely not in any way, shape or form. They need to pull the fingers out. They need to dig deep and they need to perform to the level that we know they can perform. Teams don't become garbage overnight and don't become as rubbish as Liverpool have been in the last few games. And it's been a nightmare, and doubled down because, let's be honest, we're fans, and it's unfair for us to demand stuff, but at the same time, I don't think it is when a team that's been so good for the last few seasons. It's not unfair of us to demand the team is better than what they were tonight and what they've been for the last few games. To demand a goal is not, I don't think, is asking too much of this side. They need to buck their ideas up and they need to do much better. Thank you. Welcome aboard, Frogo, who's joined as a club legend. You'll get you'll get Monday's final word show after the FA Cup game, which should be thrilling. Let's just say, Hitchin Baz again saying just one stat says it all. 27 shots, 6 on target. The quality just wasn't there today. Our midfield were nowhere near our standard. Yeah, I think about the opportunities. I think there's one really good save from Pope, and that's the Salah chance where Gini Wijnaldum drives through the middle. So little did we see of that, where players just taking the bravery, taking the opportunity to grab the game and drive through. Mane wins a free kick really late on in the first half by doing it. Not quite the same because it's much deeper, but just we're going to go and run at Burnley. Burnley love crosses into the box, and we're really, of all the teams in world football over the last couple of seasons, it's definitely one of them. We're better than most, as evidenced by how many assists our fullbacks get. I think a lot of them are passes across the box, less crosses, of course, but Burnley love that. They live for that all day long. So you've got tricky players and players on the pitch. Run at them, cause them problems. And when we ran at them, we did cause them problems. We got some decent shots off, and we didn't build on that. Divock Origi was fine, but in missing that opportunity. People will mention that. I'll say it in a bit. Sham saying here, mate, am I shooting the gun too early and saying this is eerily similar to Klopp last season at Dortmund? Honest answer to that is I feel like I do feel it is far too early to be saying that, and I think Dortmund were dreadful in the first half of that season, as I recall, and then they had a little soul search and they turned it round and still had a bit, and still finished a pretty average season all told. I don't think it's that. I genuinely don't. And I think, look, we live in a reactionary world. And what's going to annoy me about this is there's going to be a lot of people who, look, have your emotional reaction. It's absolutely fine. We've all had our heads done in by this now, for not just tonight, but for a number of weeks. But it's in a couple of days' time when most of us will have cooled down. And then, unfortunately, people don't go back and delete stupid comments about things. Liverpool are in a bad run of form, but Liverpool have more than enough credit in the bank that even if Liverpool are shite for the rest of the season, they still should have more than enough credit in the bank to be able to know that we'll be better at some point. Owen Wright, welcome aboard, first team, and mate, thank you very much. Get your comments in if you really want to. FPL Skills saying we really do miss Henderson in midfield. Yeah, and this is the problem, and maybe it's a little bit of disrespect to Burnley, because I think we think of Liverpool as being a much better team than Burnley. I think that's right to say that. There's a reason Burnley are right down the bottom of the table and Liverpool have been right up at the top of the table. So I don't think I think it sounds a little bit like reaching for excuses when we say we need X player or Y player. Like defensively, Fabinho, Matip was brilliant tonight. I thought Matip was absolutely brilliant. But did we miss Henderson midfield? Probably, yeah. I think that's the case. We're definitely our best version of ourselves has got in midfield. It's got Fabinho in midfield as well, but we still had players who should have been capable of doing a little bit more. And we end the game with our three best attacking players on the pitch. It's just shit, isn't it? Absolutely shit. Right, I'll pop over to Twitter and then I'll come back to the live comments. Ben, man like Ben, says genuinely laughable. It's scary how we've went from the best team in Europe to the team most of the Premier League teams would love to play at the minute. I'm not sure that's true. Think the season's over now. Top 4 possibly in the FA Cup, but even then that'll be a great season at the point. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Tom Hall, done in by the Brexit trio of Allardyce, Bruce and Dyche. But similar in the lack of spark, creativity and general get-go. And if Origi scores, different game possibly. Sort of game where they desperately needed fans. And yeah, I mean, look, that had all the hallmarks of a game where the Liverpool fans are just chanting attack, 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 which we haven't done for years, because that's normally a team, when Liverpool teams just feel a bit stale, that's what you'd end up. It's one of the most giveaway chance that your team needs something going for it. I agree. We're much worse when there's no fans. We're much worse when we've got a disjointed team. But we should be fitter than Burnley, and we should be technically better than Burnley. And for whatever reason, Liverpool would just. And maybe you need a bit of luck to kickstart it. It felt like that. It felt like a game where I said that all the time. These are the games where you need luck or magic. We had no luck, and the magic was sorely lacking. And we had, in fact, no, I tell a lie, because we had luck. We had Divock Origi, to mention that comment. Divock Origi has played clean through on goal. And if he scores that, it changes the complexion of the game. Now, you could, even if you're doing the butterfly effect, you're saying that maybe they don't get the penalty later on, maybe go on and win. But even if you're saying they get the penalty, it's still a different, we've not lost. Whatever. Jesus Christ. It's just shit. It's just fucking shit. Bren, Big Sam gave him the blueprint. It'll get worse before it gets better. Maybe. If it gets worse than this, I genuinely don't know how I'm going to handle that. Natalie LFC saying, gutted, title race is over and our home record too. We will struggle to even get top 4 if we carry on like this. Completely. If Liverpool continue to be as shit as this, they will struggle to finish in the European spots. Because yeah, we've been shit. You can't continue form like this if you're to harbour any positive ambitions on the season. I think that goes without saying. That doesn't mean that Liverpool will continue to play like this, but it's a bit, look, at the risk of being of the obvious analysis and us carrying down the doom and gloom. If they do keep like that, Liverpool will have a shit season. Make no mistake about it. The Right Honourable Sir Matt OBE. Glad I have a plentiful supply of whiskey in the house. Yeah, I wish I could go and get absolutely smashed now, but unfortunately, I've got to stay here, take me licks, finish doing all the content, chat to you guys, do the instant match reaction with Chris, and then go to bed with very little sleep, get up and do a big show on this again tomorrow, and then build up to Manchester United. Yay! But look, it could be worse. I mean, on the it sounds like I'm not genuinely not reaching for positives. There's no need for positives tonight. It's fucking shit. But on the grand scheme of things, it could have been this shit for years. Right, Dean Foley. This is an absolute disgrace. This is the perfect time to panic. It's the perfect time to panic. We can't win or score. Everyone else is catching up. We're getting into a fucking relegation battle at this rate. Wow. Oh, thanks, Dean. The only reason I've always done this show for the best part of 10 years is when someone is on the right track with the point and they feel it, and then it just steps over that line. I I don't think we'll be in a relegation battle. But yeah, we do. It doesn't mean we weren't shite. It doesn't mean we haven't been shite for ages. We need to stop being shite very soon. Thanks, Dean. Dura J saying, I said if we fail to score in the first 20 minutes, the game is dead end. Divock blew away our best chance of the game. Yeah, you got to score in the first half in those games because it changes the game plan, emboldens you and weakens their position. Look, the Palace game. The Palace game is what you need to do, and we haven't replicated that. That should have given us a fucking blueprint, and instead everyone else. And like Burnley didn't play this like West Brom, by the way. Burnley did not play this like West Brom. They defended resolutely. They pressed us high. They pressed our defenders. You know, Burnley were good. Let's not take anything away from Burnley here, by the way. Burnley were good today. Better than some of the teams. You know, certainly had more ambition than West Brom, and yet they didn't even throw the kitchen sink at us. We just had a little lapse in concentration, and they get a penalty, and they score the penalty. Just fucking shit. Right, let's have a few more comments from the members over on YouTube. Yeah, the Invader 97, just to reiterate a point made already, no team in world football misses their fans as much as us. I think everyone does, but I get your point. Look, we're Liverpool fans, and we know that Liverpool have created this fucking perfect marriage of brilliant manager who gets it, brilliant ownership and brilliant transfer policies, brilliant running, brilliant construction of a squad, great mentality, and making the fans feel part of the experience again. And this Liverpool side is just very, very, very fucking average at the moment. We've too many world-class players out, too many players not in form, too many players trying to find form for the first time, too many players recovering from injury and not up to speed, and not having the fans back into support on it. This is a team that's normally better than the sum of its parts, and at the moment, it's a team that's less than the sum of its parts, and that needs to change. Otherwise, Liverpool are going to have a fucking shit season. And it's mad because we are what? Let me look at the date. What? Just a shade over a month ago, I was convinced Liverpool will walk in the league. Funny that, innit? Now, the onus is now on to go. In a month's time, when we come to the end of February, if we haven't turned this around in a month and we haven't significantly changed our fortunes around, then that's a major fucking concern. But it's not too late to turn it round. But my God, if they continue to be as shite as they've been in this last month, then fuck it, turn off our ambitions. We need to shut up about the league. We need to shut up about the Champions League. We need to shut up about top four. Shut up about the fucking FA Cup and just score some goals and win some football matches. That's what Liverpool's focus needs to be. Go back to one game at a time, but go back to just focusing on it. And I am mortified beyond all fucking belief that I can't just go in the ground and scream at them till that happens. I'm devastated about that because all we've got, what can we do? We can't even support them. We just got to scream into the ether and and try our best not to be fucking dickheads online and fucking send abuse to the players because fucking that'll work. Not shite, it's fucking shite. Ben Taylor with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Ben. Don't want to hear we need this player in this position, etc. Not the problem. Sell Bobby by Haaland. All right, mate. Salman Qureshi, only positive we didn't concede. Oh wait, yep, shite. Cumbers 94, welcome as club captain. Thank you to all the new members. Yeah. Yeah, look, Jack Civil saying, would honestly rather have Jota, Van Dijk and Gomez back right now than get the COVID vaccine. I'd take having COVID again right now if it meant that we could have a couple of our players. But again, look, here's the point. Let's not reach for excuses. Let's try to err towards gallows humour on this, to be perfectly honest, because Liverpool have got, there's three things that can happen between now and the end of the season. Liverpool continue to be this shite, and we have a fucking, one of the shitest season that we've had in the best part of a decade. Liverpool are inconsistent, and we have a bang average season, and we maybe scrape into Champions League football, and we go, okay, well, COVID season, we rebuild. Or Liverpool buck their fucking ideas up immediately, get back on the horse and get back to some semblance of fucking form and have a fucking go for it, because it's not done and dusted. We've played half a season, but it's on Liverpool now. And I'll just say this, because fucking why not? Liverpool, it's on you. Mohamed Salah, it's on you. Mane, it's on you. Firmino, it's on you. Thiago, Hendo, Fabinho, Alisson, the lot of you, Jürgen, it's all on you now. Half a season. You get to define how the season ends right now, because if the season ended right now, it would be a disappointing one. If the season continues in this form, it's going to be a fucking catastrophic one, but it's not too far gone. plenty of time to pick it back up, plenty of time for other clubs to be the crisis club, but Liverpool are the crisis club right now. There's no escaping that. The only way to escape that is the fucking football players on the pitch to pull their fingers out their asses and be better at the football and score some fucking goals, because I'd love to be there and help you. I would give anything to be there and help you, but I can't do any more. None of us can do any more. It's on you. So Liverpool, just be fucking better. Yeah. Thanks, that'd be lovely. Right, nice one, everyone. Drop a like on the video, it'll cheer me up immensely. If you need to cheer yourself up and have some better clobber, I understand that it feels crass to sell things when Liverpool have been shit, but fuck it, we're still fucking making boss stuff. We're still doing our very best in trying circumstances. So yeah, look, if you want more content from us, subscribe to redmentv.com or become a YouTube member. We'll get you through this. We'll have a good chat in a little bit. And the Final Word show tomorrow, we'll try our best to make some sense out of this. That won't be sugarcoating shit. In no way, shape or form will be sugarcoating it, but my God, we're going to talk through this shit and we're going to fucking come out the other side of it, and hopefully we'll have a fucking smile on our faces, or at least not feel like curling up into a ball and crying. Yeah, come and join me on that journey. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. In fact, I won't. I'll see you in about half an hour's time for the instant match reaction. Yay! Thanks. Nice one. See you in a bit. Ta-ra.